There we go.
All right. Well, good morning. Good afternoon, everyone. Wow. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Liz from Barletta team at Ligris, and I'm so excited to have you all, especially you, Lou, because you are our fabulous presenter today. For those of you who don't know Lou personally, I met her probably, I would say almost 6 years ago at a Bold, my first Bold. So Keller Williams does have a training program called Bold, and as an attorney, I joined. And I had a great experience, and Lou was one of the first people I met there, and she's wonderful. Her energy, as you will see, is infectious, and I think you all are in for a treat. So without further ado, Lou, I'm switching you to the host, and take it away.
All right. Well, I'll share my screen in a few minutes. Thank you, Liz. And likewise, Liz's energy is extremely contagious. I remember she spoke because she sponsored a day or something like that. And I remember, my gosh, she was so bubbly, so kind. All your energy just came through. So you're fabulous. And I really appreciate you giving me the time to present and perhaps help some of your clients and whoever's on today, that they're going to learn something. I believe that what I teach is something very different from what you're used to. So let me just give you a quick background of who and what I am and what I'm doing now. So I was a real estate agent for 16 years. Started off with different companies, ended up with KW, et cetera, et cetera. During my years, loved it. I was a real estate appraiser beforehand. Throughout my whole life, and I think the reason I share this is because I think many of you can identify with this. I always knew there was something more. I knew there was something more to me. I didn't know what it was, what it looked like, what that even meant. Like, why am I even asking that question? And it started when I was younger. And then, got married, had kids. So I'm in survival mode, right? For 20 years, you're in survival mode. So just get ready, Chelsea and Liz. But when my kids grew up, left home, I knew it was my time. I could feel this burning feeling in me. There's more, there's more. And Liz had mentioned Bold. And the reason I'm going to bring that back up is because I went to Bold. I took Bold 5 times. And Bold is 7 weeks, and most of it is mindset. And I just identified with the mindset stuff so much. Like, I really didn't care about scripting and cold calling, but I really loved the mindset stuff. And, Steve Jobs says, you can't connect. Oops, it was just an admittance and I dropped the ball on it. Maybe they'll try again. Steve Jobs says you can't connect the dots looking forward, but you can connect the dots looking back. So as I look back, I can see all the dots connecting why I ended up where I am today. So I went to this training. I knew there was something more. Long story, I became a thinking into results consultant. So my mentor, who just passed, was Bob Proctor. I fell in love with this program, so much so I left the business at my best year. And the reason I say that is because I took a chance. I just knew I loved it. It was awesome. I still love it. I still love it. I just knew there was something else for me, just to, see what else is out there, because I would never know, right? If I didn't try, I would never know. So what I wanted to share with you today is called the Sales Call Cheat Sheet for Real Estate Professionals. So whether you're in mortgage or it doesn't really matter. It's really for all salespeople. And it's really about the mindset. So many of us, depending on how we grew up and how we perceived being a salesperson, plays a big part in how because there's the law of cause and effect. You are the cause. You are the cause, and your results are the effect. So here's the thing. It doesn't matter anything that's happened today, yesterday, and in the past. Your results it doesn't matter. It does not matter. What happens is, and I love this quote, you never change things by fighting the existing reality. To change something, build a new model that makes the old model obsolete, meaning if your results are not so terrific, and this is what a lot of us do, this is what I did. I was trying to fix the results, I was going to work harder. I was going to try new strategies. I was going to, buy into new systems and technology. And I was always trying to fix that part. But now I realize my results are simply the effect. It's feedback. So it's just like looking in a mirror. And let's say you want to, whatever, you look in the mirror and your hair is messy and you want to put on lipstick, or whatever, or just comb your hair. You don't comb the hair in the image, the feedback. Makes sense, right? You have to go to the cause. You have to comb your hair. So this is why it does not matter what your bank account says today, what your sales report says today, what your health report says today. Those are all results of your past thinking. And the same thing, especially if you have young kids, your kids maybe, Liz and Chelsea, are too young, even kids with report cards. I don't even know if they still give out report cards. Report cards, it's only a result. But we spend all our time putting money trying to change the result when we have to go here first. The strategies only work when we work on our mindset first. Does this all make sense to everybody?
Absolutely.
We're trying to, what do they call, pay our way into fixing something when you were already born with everything you need. So this information that I share, again, I was so passionate about. I was like, I'm gonna, I want to help real estate agents because I get it. I can't tell you how many trainings I went to. I can't tell you, I've had so many coaches. I've had the MAPS coaches. I've had Tom Ferry. I had Dirk Zeller. I had, who's the Irish guy? Buffini, right?
Mm-hmm.
I've had so many. And what I would do, and I'm sure you can relate, you take down notes and it all sounds good, right? Yeah. And you go back to your office or wherever and you put those notes on the corner of your desk, only to end up in the same place. You may be motivated for a few days, but chances are, if you don't go here first, you're on a hamster wheel. It's the same results, same thing, chasing over and over, because we're trying to, put lipstick on the mirror image, comb the hair in the mirror image. And that's why that quote says, you can't fix something by working on the old reality. You have to create something new. And this works, and I'm going to tell you, in relationships as well. Many people are trying to fix the other person, fix this, fix that. You got to create a new model. What do I want? This is why setting a goal that you are passionate about is so key. You have to know, first and foremost, what do I want? What do I really, really want? I was talking to a top agent, and she was saying, Lou, I'm so tired of keep raising my goal. It's just becoming about the goals and the money, right? This is a lot of us got caught up in that, just setting some sort of a dollar amount or transaction amount. And what happens is, and I mentioned to her, what do you love? What do you love? Because going after your, goal for money is fabulous. I mean, money is fabulous. It's fantastic, right? Because it's a tool and we can help other people with it. When it gets to the point where you're just chasing the money and the goal and it has no meaning or purpose behind it, this is when burnout starts because you're just working harder. You're getting the same, oh yeah, last year I sold X amount, this year maybe a little bit better, next year a little bit better. And you're just pushing and pushing, and this is where burnout could happen. So I mentioned to her, perhaps tying your business into some other type of goal. It could be a charity that you're really passionate about. It could be some family trip. Maybe you want to take everybody in your family on a big trip. But to tie your business into something that you love is so important because you have one life. You have one life. So we want to do things that we love. So this is what, let me just start sharing my screen. Okay, here we go. Da, 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 da. Oh, I'm wondering, oh, here we go. So blah, 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 Lou. Let me just move this up. What we have here is a sales call cheat sheet for real estate professionals. So this cheat sheet is used by, I can't even tell you, countless numbers of salespeople, because this will help you have a more relaxed conversation, and it'll help you feel confident and let the sales call, you'll leave all the people that you speak with feeling great. Many times people will get on a call and they're thinking about themselves. Now, I don't mean that they're doing that on purpose, but they might be thinking, I need to get another sale. The car payments are due. The mortgage is due. The kids needs braces, right? Does any of this sound familiar? Anyone can relate to that? So what you're going to get out of today is, I really would love to help you build a real estate business that you love. This is so important. You want to love what you do, not just doing it for the sake of doing it. And sometimes, again, just like I said, sometimes maybe what your career, you're not crazy in love with, but you connected with something else that you love, which drives you to produce more or be more passionate about your career. Because not always, some of us, whatever, maybe you went to school for something, it doesn't matter. It matters to do something that you love. And when you're doing something you love, you're not looking at the clock all the time. You're not thinking about how many hours you put into something. It's just, you're so passionate about it. And again, I think if you are able to connect your business with a charity that you really love, you're just going to live a more meaningful life. I mean, traveling's awesome, buying great shoes is awesome, handbags, we all love that. When you can give back to other people, this is what makes life meaningful. So you can have a successful business and a successful personal life. So this is what I want to walk you through. So following this guide will help you turn the awkwardness and the confusion around your calls. And it's going to, again, help you relax. I'm really calling it discovery calls. Instead of a sales call, I'd really like to call it discovery call. And you're going to see why. Everything starts with our thoughts. Our thoughts control our feelings control our actions or our behavior. And this process creates our results. We've all met people that have awesome attitudes. You feel great when you're around them. We've also been with people that have crappy attitudes, and you just want to get away from them. So if you have a great attitude, what kind of people do you think you're going to attract? What kind of clients and prospects do you think you're going to attract, right? And if you have a crappy attitude, chances are, if you're complaining a lot about your clients, oh, they're such pains, they're doing this and doing that. It's again, the mirror. Look in the mirror, because those clients that if they're a pain, is just giving you feedback. Don't even take it personally. It's just feedback. Oh, let me see. I just looked some of it. It's simply feedback. Does that make sense? Yep. Yes, no, maybe so. Okay. I think
I forgot I muted myself. I'm sorry.
Okay, most people I think are off camera, so all I see is Liz and Max. So you guys are going to have to participate. All right, so let's get started. So the most common challenges that real estate agents face, and again, this is really anybody in sales with their calls, is trying to sell and not listening to understand what the prospect really wants. And number two is the lack of confidence. These are old beliefs about salespeople you may have, right? What did you hear growing up about salespeople? How do you respond to salespeople when you walk into a store? Right? This is so key. When you're making calls, are you thinking, oh, I'm bothering them, nobody wants to hear from me, they're at work? Does anyone relate to that? Or is everyone just on the phone saying, I love life, I love my clients, right? So what did you hear growing up? Did you hear that salespeople just want to take your money? Did salespeople, now I'm older, did they call during dinner time? Right? They used to always show on TV and I feel so bad for used car salesmen, right? They'd have the plaid suit and maybe the slick mustache, right? These were all, we took this in when we were babies. All of this was recorded, and whether you realize it or not, every time we go to pick up that phone, that is being played in our subconscious mind. So this is why no matter how much you try, it might work a little bit, but until you change that recording, this will be repetitive. This will always happen. And not having success habits. I know successful salespeople, have success habits, right? I know Javed, I interviewed him. I know he has great success habits, right? Tapping in, visualizing, you probably heard of that. Visualizing before you hop on a call, which is really important. Mm-hmm. What I want to show you here, so many people, we've all probably done a lot of self-help, self-development, read books, gone to webinars, trainings, you name it. Until you understand how you operate, you will always be chasing for that silver lining, that silver bullet. And here's the thing. There was a gentleman, a doctor, Dr. Thurman Fleet, back in 1934. He says, there's a problem. He says, we're always going to the symptoms. We're never getting to the cause. The cause of, when I tell you really everything in your life, in our lives, including myself, again, is our thoughts, our feelings, our actions, the way we behave, and our results. So this is a stick person that he drew up, because if I were to ask you, what does your mind look like? Because the mind is the cause of everything. Most people would think it's their brain, and it's not. The brain does not think. What? The brain does not think. And because we think in pictures, if I ask you what color your car is, poof, picture of your car. Who's in your family? Poof, a picture of your family, an image of your family. What color is the front door in your house? Poof, a picture comes to mind. But if I ask you, what does your mind look like? Huh? What? And this is where the confusion comes in, because our thoughts are everywhere, right? Would you agree? Your mind, you got thoughts running all over the place. Now, if you can study this stick person, it will bring clarity. It brings in clarity because we think in pictures. And when your mind is going all over the place, you're going to say, okay, I'm looking at this stick person. This big circle is representing our mind. Okay. The little circle is representing the body. The top half is our conscious mind. The bottom half is the subconscious mind. I'm sure you've heard of those two words before, but did you ever really know what they were? Did you ever really know what they were? And the mind is the most powerful force in all of creation. Think about that. We all have a mind, but do we know how it works? No, because we've been taught what to think, not how to think. So I think you are really going to get a lot out of here. It's going to bring you clarity. That's my intention. So going into a call, if we're going into a call with negative thoughts, okay, and our attitude is made up of our thoughts, our feelings, and our actions, just like a cake. It's a composite of all three things, right? So if you go into a phone call and say, I have to make this sale, I'm bothering people, oh, the boss is yelling at me because my numbers are down, blah, 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 blah. Your thoughts control your feelings. So just thinking that way, if you think about that right now, how do you feel? Are you feeling a little tense and anxious?
Yeah.
You feel tense and anxious, right? You're afraid of feeling, you're afraid of what they're going to say. You're going to see how unbelievably this is so simple. And this will bring clarity. So when you're thinking that way, you're feeling anxious. How does the conversation come across? Right? It sounds kind of desperate. There's poor communication because you're coming from desperate, right? You're not thinking about the other person, or maybe you're going in and out a little bit. So when we think negatively, this is what happens. Think about if I just called one of you up and say, hey, Max, guess what? You just won $1 million. You just won $1 million. How do you feel?
Oh, ecstatic.
Ecstatic, right? What are you going to do when you get off the phone with me? What are you going to be doing?
Probably going to go to collect it, tell everyone.
Tell everyone, are you going to be dancing, happy, right?
Oh, yeah.
Right? What if I called you up and said, hey, Max, there was a screw up. And I hate to tell you this, but you owe $1 million. Oh.
I'd be pretty upset.
Yeah, right? And when you're upset, how are you going to behave?
Maybe upset manner, yeah.
Right? Not maybe you're not going to smile. You walk, right? You got a scowl on your face. You're short with people. So you see the connection. This connection is the creative process. When you think about it, this is how everything is created. This is how everything is created. I want you to really understand that. Everything starts with the thought. Everything. So on your phone call, you want to go to the positive side. So there's universal laws. The whole universe is governed by laws. And I bet you don't even know about them, because I didn't. All I knew was the law of gravity, right? I walk off a building, I'm not going up. I'm going down, right? And the law doesn't say, but geez, Lou is, she's so awesome. She's really nice. She didn't mean to do that. It doesn't matter. The law is impersonal. There's also the law of polarity. So for this negative, there's positive. You can't have one without the other. You can't have an up without a down. You can't have an inside without an outside. You can't go forward. You can't have a forward without a backward. So this is how you want to go into a call. And I strongly suggest that you play some calming music before getting on a phone call. Think about how you want the phone call to go, right? Think about the person that you're reaching out to and how can you serve them? Because it's not about you. So you're almost like a doctor. You're just calling them to find out what their symptoms are and if you have the right service or product to meet their needs. So Joe, Max, you're in mortgages, so you have all different kinds of products, right? So you don't want to just jump in and say, blah, 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 this is what I have, blah, blah. You've got to find out what it is that they need, what's important to them, what's their time frame. Are they buying one house? Are they buying several houses? Are they buying commercial, right? So when we go into the phone call, simply to see, let me see if I can help this person. You're not focused on the results. You're focused on the process. I want to help the prospect get what they want. By doing that, I need to ask some questions. So you're focusing on them. You don't even know if you can help them yet. You're not even there. You're just gathering information. So it's a relaxed conversation. You're letting them do most of the talking. You're just asking questions. And when you are coming from service, you get excited. You feel good about being possibly helping this person. So you're gathering the information. I feel great. Yep, I think I can help this person. All right, they're a buyer. They're looking to buy in such and such. Okay. Have they spoken to a mortgage broker yet? Have they spoken to an attorney? Okay, let's gather the information. And during this whole process, you're having a relaxed conversation, and the person on the other end feels your energy, just like they would if you were thinking about yourself. Even though you think you're disguising it a lot, they're going to pick up on your energy. We all do. We all pick up on one another's energy. So when you're coming across with the relaxed conversation and sincerely trying to see if you can help this person, and that's very important. Can I help them? And if the answer is yes, then you want to make sure, are we a good fit? Let's not just jump on and say, yeah, I can do anything for you. Let's see if it's a good fit. If somebody's giving you a hard time on the other end, do you think that the rest of the transaction is going to go smoothly? They're showing their cards up front. So this is when you get to decide if you want to work with them. This is how you build a business that you love, a career that you love, to work with people you want to work with, right? So you want to, again, relax. And not only that, so at the end of the conversation, after you've had your conversation, the other person on the other end feels like, wow, they listened to me, right? You repeat back. So, Mr. So-and-so, from what I understand, I want to make sure we're both on the same page. You would like da-da-da, da-da-da, yada, yada, right? And you're repeating back to them what they said. This shows that you care about them. Now, does that necessarily mean a slam dunk sale? Not necessarily. Maybe it'll be a referral. Maybe it will be, hey, you know what? I don't need the service right now, but keep in touch with me. Or you ask them, would it be okay if I kept in touch with you? Be respectful. Would it be okay if I kept? Yeah, absolutely. And maybe they, again, don't take it personally when they say no, because it's just like a product. It's not you. They just don't need that product or service right now, right? But build the relationship. We hear this over and over again. You know, we live in this amazing world where technology is, and it's very hard to keep up with. It really is. By the time you've invested in something, something new comes along.
Mm.
But here's the thing, we hear it over and over again. Relationships are the key because people are still people. I want to work with someone that I like.
Mm-hmm.
I want to work with someone that has me in mind, what I want. Right? Every now and then, yeah, you can get somebody that, you know, just as a quick sale, which is fine, but we're talking longevity. Right? Building relationships, because people will always remember how you made them feel. They could forget everything else, but they're going to remember how you made them feel, just like Liz. Now, I've met many attorneys. Liz has met many realtors. But what did we both remember about each other? Our energy, right? And smiles. This is what people are looking for. They're looking for a heart-to-heart connection. I mean, would you guys agree? Isn't that something that you want, or no? Am I just looking?
I agree, because
absolutely.
it also makes you feel like it's genuine
It's
versus
genuine.
forced.
Yes, because force negates. Force negates, and you will always know when you're coming from a place of sincerity, authentic. You'll feel it. You can't fake it. You will know. You will know. So I hand out this stick person. So again, and you'll see me do this, okay? I do this a lot. This is our conscious mind up here. This is where we do our thinking. This is our intellect mind. This is where we gather information, like when we read books and things like that. It's all up here in the conscious mind. This is the subconscious mind. This is where our feelings are. It's the emotional mind. This is where all the recordings since you were a little baby. This is where the food that you like, the way that your self-image is in here. All of that is in here. And what we do is, in order to change this, the subconscious, again, these are all patterns that have been recorded since you were a baby. The food you like, how you speak to people, maybe your religious beliefs, your income, all of that, everything to do with your self-image, your self-worth is all here. And in order to change that, you got to play a new song, new thoughts, because we have 60,000 thoughts a day, give or take a few. But 96 to 98% of them are the same thoughts over and over. I can't do this, or I'm too busy, I'm too this, I'm too that, I don't have enough. And it's all being recorded. And we are functioning 96 to 98% of our day through the subconscious mind, because this takes effort. This saves energy because it's habit. All your habits, all in here. They're all planted in there. It takes actual effort to think, believe it or not. And you'll be surprised how little we think during the day. We are on autopilot all day long. We are doing the same things over. You might think you're super busy. I am so busy. What a busy weekend I had, right? But I'll tell you this. If you were to see, because we cannot see what we're doing, right? We can't watch ourselves during our day. So how do we actually know what we're doing? Our results. Our results just feedback. That's all it is. You don't have to take it personally. It's just feedback. If you don't like the feedback, you got to change the cause. Your thoughts, feelings, and actions are the cause. The results is the effect. It's the law of cause and effect. Again, just like the law of gravity, it's impersonal. You think and feel and act this way. This is the result. This is the effect. Doesn't matter if you're a nice person, you're a lousy, doesn't matter. It's just the law. Not a big deal. But aren't we grateful that we get these feedbacks, that we have the power to change them? We have the power to change them. You are not victims, but many of us think we're victims. Oh, the circumstances, the conditions, I can't help it. You know, this one, the market is just tanking. The market is unbelievable. I can't get my buy, blah, 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 blah. Right? So this is what, when you look at this stick person, and you can draw it out on a piece of paper yourself. It's very simple. You don't need to go to art school for it. Going into a conversation, and again, this can be your relationships, this can be anything. What am I constantly thinking about? That's a good question. What am I constantly thinking about? Okay. So whatever it is, and let's just play that no one wants to hear from me. Let's just say it's that, or, you know, people are too busy, or I don't want to bother people. Okay, the law of polarity. What would the opposite thought that you could think about? Because it's your choice. You're not being forced to think negatively, right? No one's holding a gun to your head to think that way. Oh, so I have a choice. All right, well, if I could think about this phone call, then I'm going, well, you know, maybe I can help this person. I don't know, maybe I can help them. I'm just going to call them up. Easy peasy, no pressure, no force. Let me just see. All of a sudden, the body feels differently, right? It's crazy. The body just feels differently when you go in to say, hey, let me just see if I can help you. That's all. Not thinking about the results, just seeing if I can help you. So when you're thinking negatively, how does that thinking make me feel? Again, not confident, fearful, thinking you're going to fail. Maybe you're afraid that they're going to hang up on you or yell at you. How many times have we all felt that, right? I know I used to. I never really liked doing this. I didn't. Now I understand why. Right? And because I thought of that, what kind of actions do you think I took? I didn't. That was the action I took. I didn't take action because I was telling myself, no one wants to hear from me, whatever, you're bothering people, whatever silly nonsense I was telling myself. How many times, even top producers, I know many top producers says that phone feels like, you know, 100 pounds. So if you're thinking that, what kind of results do you think you're going to get? It becomes so obvious. You're going to wonder, why weren't we taught this? That's why I'm here with you today, right? Oh, and somebody mute. I hear some background. What can I think about? How will it make me feel if I know I'm going into this conversation? Just see, how am I going to feel? I'm going to feel great. My conversation is going to be very relaxed, like I'm talking to an old buddy. And what are my results going to be like? Doesn't mean it's going to be a slam dunk sale again, but you're going to leave the person feeling good.
Sure. So.
Again. Oh, can someone just mute themselves?
Yeah, Sharana, could you mute yourself? Or Lou, I don't know, as host, you may be able to mute her.
Oh, geez, you're acting me.
I'm sorry.
I'm not that skillful at Zoom yet. Okay. Any
There we are.
questions about
Thank
that?
you.
Does that make sense to everybody? Just give me a thumbs up, a yes. And I'm
Yeah.
going to
It
tell you,
definitely does.
yeah. And when I tell the agents, and it's, I know this probably rubs them the wrong way. How you show up here is how you show up everywhere. So it's so funny when I talk to real estate agents, you think they're all outgoing, gregarious, shake your hand, woo, right? This is how the image that you get them into a room, something like this, and they don't raise their hand. That tells so much. It's this in here. No one wants it. I used to never raise my hand when I was young. I didn't, because I didn't want attention brought to me. Now I'm like, freak this, I'm raising my hand. I'm going to ask every stupid question there is. I don't care. Because I don't care about what people think anymore. So freeing. So freeing. As I can tell you, if you're worried about your phone calls, you are worried about what people are thinking about you. Now, you may never meet this person, ever, right? But you're worried about what they're thinking about you. You're afraid of failing. But switch it. It really is kind of simple, although there is a process, because this we've been carrying around for our whole life, our entire life. So what we have to do, this is like, you may have heard like the Garden of Eden. Your subconscious mind is like fertile soil, okay? The subconscious mind has no ability, I want you to really listen to this, has no ability to reject ideas. It can only accept ideas. It does not know the difference between what is real and what is imagined. There's no idea. The conscious mind it can accept or reject ideas. This is where the thinking comes in. You can accept or reject ideas. So when you have that negative ideas, delete, reject, because you have the power. Stop playing small. You are super beings. You have no idea. You have no idea the talents and abilities and the skills that you have that have been laying dormant because we've been afraid of what people might say. Be bold. That's what that bold is about. Be bold. Bring your truth to the surface. Be who you are. Because people are going to resonate with who you are. We're not going to resonate with everybody. Everyone on this call isn't going to resonate with me. But some people will. Some people will. Right? And of course, you want to work with people that you resonate with. Doesn't that make sense? Doesn't that make your whole life better? Instead of working with people that like suck the life out of you with phone call after phone call. Where's this? Where's that? Blah, blah, blah. Let's work with people that we love to work with. And then when we are feeling good, how do you think our relationships at home are going to be like? Right? So much better. Right? When your spouse or your partner or your friend asks you a question, and if you're not stressed out from a day of working with crappy people, you're able to take the time to answer them. Yeah, let's go out to dinner. Yeah, absolutely. Let's go have some fun because it's your life. This is your life. It's not all about work, 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 work. You can have both. Absolutely. Because you are in control of your life. Do not let life control you. circumstances and conditions and, oh, I can't do this because I can't, I'm too old, I'm too young, I don't have enough experience, I don't know enough people. Oh yeah, the other agents can do it. Do you think the top producers think like that? No. Top producers are making it happen. They're confident. They know that what they can do helps people. They know that they're bringing people their dream home, their dream life. They know that. Max, you've got the money. Without you, the dreams aren't coming true.
I appreciate the call out.
Yeah, you're a dream maker. Liz, you're giving them a sense of security, knowing, hey, I don't know about all this paperwork. I have no idea what it all says. Liz is going to take care of that. Yay. It's how they make them feel. Do I have any questions? Let me just stop my share screen here. Any questions? Did any of this resonate with anybody? This, please let me know.
So much, so much.
Yeah,
I have to.
absolutely.
So, Lou, I just want to share a little story because I don't know if you've ever read the "You Are a Badass" book, the Jen Sincero.
I think I have it. I haven't read it though.
So I haven't gone through it, but there was a section that was talking about the subconscious and conscious mind, how you can't imagine how much of a barrier your subconscious puts on you that you wouldn't imagine would be the case. So if you want to lose weight, it keeps you in your comfort zone versus the hard part of the mind. And it just totally brought that back into my mind again. So I appreciate
everything. I'm going to tell you over and over and over and over again. Everything you do is your conscious mind and your subconscious. I'm going to tell you, I don't care what fancy razzle dazzle new system strategy comes out. If you don't get this working the way you want it to work, you will always be chasing. So what she was what they're referring to in the badass is the paradigms. Mm-hmm. Paradigms are it's your programming, it's your habits. You've had them since you were a little kid. Your beliefs are still the same as you were a little kid. You probably never even questioned your beliefs. I know I never did. Well, that's the way it is because that's what my parents told me. That's what my teacher told me. That's what the priest told me. That's what my neighbor told me. That's what all the adults told me. That's what my government told me. Oh, like I just went, oh, okay. Mm-hmm. Like a lot of it didn't make sense, but hey, who was I? Who was I? Right? Now I think, says who? Really think about that. Says who? Mm-hmm. And we've all fell in line. We've all become just keep moving. Just keep moving. And this is what I was saying, Liz, earlier, like because of this pandemic, people are starting to break out of their shell. They want to be themselves. I want to live the life that I want to live because we did a lot of self-reflecting while we were home.
Yeah. I
want to live my life because one day it's lights out, baby. That's it. Game over. That's it. You're not going to be like Tom Brady and coming back again, right? not maybe as Tom, but whatever, right? So really studying your mind. And when I say study, I mean study. See these books behind me? So you asked about badass, right? And I'm also in another book club, but I'll tell you, I read books. Has anyone ever read Think and Grow Rich? Okay, Denise, awesome. My mentor studied that book every day for 60 years. You must study, not just read a book. You don't just glance at a book and say, oh yeah, I read that. You must study it. You must get into the mind of the author. And so this is why I read. So Think and Grow Rich was Napoleon Hill, who worked with Andrew Carnegie at that time, was one of the wealthiest men in the world. Andrew Carnegie knew all about the law of attraction. He knew all about it. That's why they were all wealthy. They were in a secret society. They were all wealthy. They all knew about the law of attraction. Andrew Carnegie didn't want all these people going to their grave with all this information. This is why he brought Napoleon Hill. He commissioned Napoleon Hill to study 500 of the most wealthiest people without getting paid. And Napoleon Hill studied Henry Ford, Firestone, Edison, you name it, on and on, for 20 years. For 20 years. That's why you don't just read Think and Grow Rich, you study it. It will tell you about the law of attraction, the law of vibration. That's why your feelings attracts. Your thoughts put out the message, your feelings attract it. You are like a human cell tower. Your brain is transmitting and receiving all day long. All day long. But you don't think about it. You're thinking about losing weight and talking about losing weight, Liz. And I was thinking about Psycho-Cybernetics, another amazing book you must study. Right? Oh, Denise, this my girl right there, right? So with losing weight, right? This is what happens. It's just, we have a cybernetic system in us. Our success mechanism needs a target. This is why you must have a goal. You must have a goal. Must, must, must. You need to know why you're getting up in the morning. The cybernetic system is always working towards that target. And if there's no target, you're in confusion.
Right.
So the cybernetic system is like the autopilot on a plane. So let's say, you're home, or thermostat, I should say. You put the thermostat, you live in, in Boston, whatever, it's cold. You put the thermostat on 70. Okay. Somebody opens the front door, whoosh, that thermostat goes down to 60 degrees, well, for an example. Because there's been a change, the heating system will kick back on until it brings it back to that 70 degrees again. Say this is what our self-image does. Let's say you weighed, I don't know, X amount of pounds your whole life, whatever. You decide you're going to release some weight. Okay, and you're going to the gym, you're eating the food, It's just like the dip. And as soon as you're done with that, the cybernetic system is eventually going to bring you back up to that weight. Same thing with your income. Typically, your income is basically the same. It may go up a little, it may go down a little, but it's basically the same. Do you ever read U Squared, Denise? So you know about quantum leaps, right? Quantum leaps. You don't have to increase your business by 5%.
I do.
Yeah, you can increase it by 400%. What? Some people want to make $100,000 a year. What about $100,000 a month? What? What? Yeah. It's only this that is preventing it. It's your beliefs. It's amazing. It's amazing. So think about that stick person. I think, Liz, you have the handout,
Yeah.
people, there's a video, you can watch that video over and over again.
I'll share that.
Repetition is how you change the things, because this thought, you need to plant a new seed. This is why the soil, you got to plant a new seed. And you've got to believe in that image, that new image of you. If you have that same old self-image, things don't change. You got to change the image. And everything works out. You're perfect the way you are. You're not broken. You don't need to be fixed. You just need to move into the higher version of you. And until you have a goal that stretches you, this is why having a goal, a big goal, something you've never done before, something that maybe scares you. because that bigger goal, this is why like 5-10%, you're not going to change. Having a big goal will pull those other skills and talents out of you that you didn't even know were there because they were never called on. If you're doing the same thing over and over, there's no need to bring out new skills and new talents. But that's what a big goal does. It pulls on you. Come on, you can do it. You've got this, I'm with you. Hey.
You're the best, Lou. I have to say one other thing before we end. I love the presentation because it also breaks it down to something very simple for people who are not in that, like I am like feeling all the feels because I love all the mindset. But for people who are the naysayers, oh, mindset doesn't work. What you gave was a very specific, just try this, change this thought at one call and see how that goes. And that's just going to power everyone through to the other ones in the positive calls. So I appreciate that.
If anyone that says that mindset doesn't work, they have no idea what they're saying. I will tell you that. You have no idea the machine that you are. And I can tell you, we're all playing small. We are all playing small. I promise you that. And until you have a big goal, and I'm telling you, get a big goal, something that you don't know how, no idea how it's going to work, right? That's the exciting part. This is when you start finding out the hows. So if anybody, if this resonated with you, reach out to Liz. If you want to do a one-on-one call, I'd be more than happy to speak with you. You have to make a decision. You have to make decisions in life. You know, decide to go after something that you've never gone after before. If you make decisions based on what your life is now, things don't change. Decisions take you there. It's decisions that take you to your new life.
I love it. Well, thank you so much, Lou. We appreciate it so much.
I went over the half hour.
Yeah, I loved it. It was great. And I'll post to everyone the link that Lou was chatting about so everyone can have access to it.
Okay. Any questions before we sign off? Any feedback? Did you get anything?
It was awesome. It was awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Very grateful.
Okay. All right, everyone. Thank you. Have an awesome day. All right.
You too.
Have a good day, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.